tried so hard and got so far.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm DC, and today you are going to join me as I fix those old ref tubs so that it can be used. So I have here an old ref tub, and I have already finished covering the cracks and holes on it using a marine epoxy, and I am now testing it by putting some water in it and see if there is no leak on it, but there is a leak. I wonder where that leak came from because I've already covered all the cracks and holes on it. We're just going to find out later. And here is another two ref tubs that I haven't finished covering the holes yet, but I have started covering the cracks, minimal cracks on it. As you can see, I've already covered it, but the holes on hoses I haven't covered, and on the sides also. There. So I'm gonna work on that today, and this one also. I think it's ready to test. There is no leak on it. Just gonna put some water in it later to test if there's no leak like that. And also here is another ref tub that I've started covering the cracks and holes on it, but haven't finished it yet. There's a hole. Also, I'm using marine epoxy on it just to make sure that it is fixed, the holes in it and the cracks, and a big crack, which I'm going to use this some old oil container, just like that, and put some epoxies on the sides on it. And there's another batch of old ref tub, and I think it still can be used, but there's so many cracks and holes in it. But we're just going to find out later if we are good to go. So we are going to use Pioneer marine epoxies to fix those holes on those ref tubs. And if you can't afford these epoxies, you can also use Plastiseals or Polka seals, anything that seals waters. So this ref tub is already finished. It will be placed here. Replace that old ref tub, or move it to the side. So the problem with this ref tub is, a while ago there is still water leaking out of it. So I checked it, and the water is leaking out here. As you can see, that plastic is out of shape, and there are small holes on it. So it will be covered later on as we mix the epoxy. So the first thing you're going to do if you are going to fix a ref tub is you have to clean it just like this. It's already clean. I've cleaned it before we put those, because if we don't clean the ref tub before we put some epoxies on it, the epoxy will not stick or mend on the surface that we're going to place it. So if you are tired of washing your ref tub, just like me, I'm tired right now, so I didn't wash this ref tub before I cover it with some epoxies on the cracks and holes in it. I just use a rag, then scratch or wipe the area that we are going to cover with some epoxies or sealant. That way the sealant or epoxies will stick on the surface that we are going to place it. So this ref tub is not already finished covering the cracks on it, so we're going to continue right now, show you how to do it. Also here, where there is a big missing part, but it will be fixed later on. Right now, you wonder why these two are on that standing position or in that position where it is not properly placed, because I'm finding out where is the holes or crack that I've missed putting some sealant on it, because once I place some more on it, the water is still leaking out right there, still leaking out there, but I'm not sure if that wet part on there is the corresponding crack or holes in it, because it is a stereo. So as long as there's water in it, the water will scattered, and not sure where the water is coming from. So make sure, if you are not sure on the holes that you are covering or the cracks, make sure to clean it first. Just like this. I haven't cleaned it before I covering it, so I've missed the part where the cracks are hidden. So right now I've cleaned it and put some water in it to check where is the leak, and this one also. So first thing is we have to mix the epoxy that we're going to use. Now we are going to need a small amount of water. You soak your hand with water and mend the epoxy. Just like I did with this, I mend it with the help of my hands and some water on my hands. This ref tub is really pissed me off, because I've already put some epoxies of all the cracks and leaks that I've seen after I clean it, but still there is water leakage behind here. So I have no other option but to do this last method. If this last method will still not be effective, I'll be forced to put some tarpaulin inside of this ref tub. So this is the last method or option that I'll be going to do in this ref tub, because leakage is all over here. So I'm going to cut the styrofoam just like what I did here in this side. I cut it and I found out that the crack is over here. Where is it? Over there. As you can see that crack isn't visible a moment ago, but when I remove the styrofoam behind in this ref tub, I found out that it is where the water is coming from. So we just found out the crack after we removed the stereo at the back portion of this, and there is the crack. There is the crack. It's not visible a while ago when there is some styrofoam because there is a pressure back there, but if there isn't much pressure back there, there you see the crack. So I think that's the two remaining cracks left. I hope so. So don't worry about the styrofoam that we removed. It can still be placed back after we repair this reftub. So right here we're almost done covering the big crack by some other plastic, and we are on halfway of putting some. You can use the mineral water cups to cover the holes, like what I did here. And what will I do here? So this is the other way to determine where is the leak, or where is the water coming out from your ref tub that still have a leak. So the ref tub on the top has a leak, and we are able to determine where is the leak by doing this. Put some enough water inside and gonna look downside where is the leak. So it is easy to determine now where is the hole is located. Oh, Marai. So right now there's no water leaking out, and there's remaining one ref tub, and I think it's not worth fixing because it's so very, I'm not sure if I'm going to fix this. So okay guys, now they are ready to use, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something about my video, and subscribe for more.